up and downs yesterday, like literally to the max. We've won our first game in 118 days. That's got to be seen as a massive positive.
Yeah.
However, we do end up the day pretty much the same as we started with, because West Ham got that win against Everton, and you're just thinking,
and
like,
Forest as well on Friday night.
Forest
5-0.
blew Sunderland away at the Stadium of Light. So that means we are 6 points behind Leeds, 5 points behind Forest, and 2 points behind West Ham going into the final 4 games of the season. Are Leeds completely out of this? I know they got Burnley at home to play, but they've still got West Ham and Spurs to play.
Yeah. I mean, from that point of view, if they lose both those games, all of a sudden they're very much in it, depending on other results. So if I'm Leeds, I'm not taking anything for granted, but I think... Look, if you ask me if they lose every game between now and the end of the season, are they staying up? I think they can still go down. So they do need another result, I think. I think one win against Burnley probably does it. But if they don't win that game, then all of a sudden they're still in trouble. Same with Forest. Big win. But, look, I'm not saying it's likely, but if we do beat Villa, right, they go into that Chelsea game with us only 2 points behind, regardless of what West Ham do. So then they need to either win or draw. Or if they need to win against Chelsea to make it within 2 games again, or if they draw, it's all of a sudden 1 game. So they're not completely out of it now, Forest, thanks to our win. But if I'm being completely objective about the situation, if I'm a rival fan watching us yesterday, I don't think I saw a team that is going to win another two or 3 games out of the next 4. That's not what I saw. I'm not saying it won't happen. And as you say, sometimes it just needs a result like that to completely change your fortunes, and all of a sudden that weight lifted off your shoulders, and all of a sudden you can gain momentum with the snowball, the positivity's there, the relief, it was there for everyone to see from the Tottenham players. So all of a sudden, do we go to Villa a lot more confident? They're going to be resting players with the Europa League semi-final. I'm pretty sure they're going to be resting some players. So all of a sudden, could we go there and actually put in a much better performance? Could we actually go there and win? Could this be the moment that sparked us? I mean, it's very, very possible. I'm not saying it's guaranteed to happen. You've got to hopefully believe that's what's going to happen. In a weird way, maybe a win like that is what is perfect for us, because it shows we can grind out a victory in difficult circumstances when we're not playing well, which is probably what we're going to need over the next 4 games, because we're probably not going to be playing that well over these next 4 games. So in a weird way, is that the perfect kind of win? Because we're probably not going to be playing the pretty football over these next 4 games. So to expect us to blow teams away and win 3 or 4-0 or whatever, or win by outplaying oppositions, is at this point fanciful. Yeah. So maybe that is exactly what we needed, to show that we can win with a set piece or whatever it is, grind it out and show the fight, over the next 3 games. But on the flip side, when you watch West Ham, especially Forest, even Leeds, against United and who they beat, Wolves. Those were teams, and even Bournemouth, they got a good draw. Those were teams, when you watch them, they do look like teams who are going to be winning 2 or 3 over the next 4. Yeah. So when you compare that to us, as much as the positivity of getting a win, I'm sure is going to be big, is it enough? That's the question. Is it enough? Because it might not be.
If you look at it objectively, like you say, like it seems like it is just between us and West Ham now. But anything can happen, and Forest and Leeds still need to do their job and still need to do the business. So if they go into these games assuming that they're already up, which they probably won't, then it could be danger signs for them if they think the job's done. Forest do have other things to look at. Leeds also. I mean, they're in an FA Cup semi-final today, so we'll see what happens there. But they do have other things to think about, whereas Spurs and West Ham, it's just about relegation. But I do feel that it is just between Spurs and West Ham now. I do. And, yesterday was gutting, like I said, not just because of the West Ham game. It's mainly because of the injuries, like you mentioned, because how do we win these games? How do we go in and attack, and how do we provide a threat on the opposition? We were saying after the Brighton game, Javi's the only guy in our team with that X factor that's able to break down defences, pick a lock, even shoot from outside the area, provide that moment in a game. He's probably gone for the rest of the season. Solanke, I don't think, has been great since he's come back from injury, barring a couple of games at the beginning. So but Richarlison hasn't really exactly pulled down any trees since when he's played either. So who are we turning to in this forward line to be like, you're the guy to get us out of it? Because I can't think of many. Like Matisse Tell, as much as he looks busy at times, he hasn't shown the ability to be able to get us out of this. Mawani definitely hasn't. Richarlison, he's our top goal scorer, but still in recent form, he's not exactly on great form. So who are these players that are magically going to get us out of this? Whereas you're looking at West Ham, they do seem to have match winners in their team with the likes of Jarrod Bowen. I know he's not been great, but he's still got it in him to get West Ham out of a scrap and out of a game. Somerville, he's been brilliant. West Ham have got these players and they've got their first choice attacking players that they can turn to. We just don't. We've got a depleted squad, depleted forward line. The 3 players that we started with in the forward line were nowhere to be seen in the second half because 2 of them went down injured and 1 of them had a stinker and hooked. So who are we turning to? Are we just relying on set pieces and trying to press high from the front? And if we are trying to rely on pressing high from the front, then surely we go for Gallagher and Lucas Bergvall. As Ash was saying on the post-match fan show, we were trying to think about which kind of ways that we can go in, and I thought it was a decent idea maybe to go with Richarlison up top with Bergvall and Conor Gallagher as maybe 2 number 10s behind them and ditch the wingers because we got no wingers, and then play a Paulinho in the midfield because he's the one that has shown actually that he can put the ball in the back of the net and a big threat from set pieces alongside of Rodrigo Bentancur. And I know at the first half of the season we say we don't want to see Bentancur and Paulinho don't work, but we're kind of past all that trying to play pretty football and trying to play nice football. We need to be effective, and what's effective is set pieces, and our biggest set piece threat definitely from midfield are going to be Paulinho and Bentancur. Bentancur has shown an ability to win the ball in the box with his headers and set pieces all season. Paulinho has scored 5 goals this season, and Bergvall and Conor Gallagher have proved that they can press and they can press effectively. So is this our best way to go?
What do you suggest? So what back 3?
So we were suggesting I guess. I don't know. We were just thinking about 2 number 10s, maybe with Paulinho, maybe with Conor Gallagher as a box-to-box, maybe a pressing box-to-box kind of thing, as a 4-3-3. As a Paulinho, Bentancur, Gallagher. Maybe with Bergvall.
And Tell on the right?
Bergvall coming in a bit central, and that's assuming that Destiny Udogie can play. So Bergvall in the kind of Javi position where he's kind of floating in the number 10 position. Conor Gallagher as the box-to-box, where Conor Gallagher and Bergvall can go and press, and then Tell on the right.
I mean, potentially. I mean, I'm listening to what De Zerbi's been saying. He said he doesn't want too many changes, and he wants to try and keep some sort of continuity, because we've had a lot of changes this season, and I think he fell on a formula against Brighton, which he thinks, okay, this can work. So he's going to want to try and keep it as similar to that as possible. But, as you said, we have now 2 injuries. Obviously, that takes the dynamic completely away. I think, for me, the best way, I just think, is you go Mawani on the right, you go Tell on the left, you go Richarlison up front, and then Gallagher, keep him in the 10. You keep Basuma and Bentancur in the double pivot. And I think that's probably the best way to go, and you try and get the best out of that. I think those guys can press. I don't know. I mean, because I think in that scenario, at least you have Tell and you have Richarlison in their best positions, and De Zerbi no one can get anything out of Mawani at the moment, but he's hoping he can get something out of him playing on the right. But I probably think I'd rather than that than shoehorning. At that point, you're shoehorning Tell in, you're shoehorning Bergvall in. I don't know. And as well, with Paulinho, I think having him as a super sub is probably his best. That's his best position, to be honest, at the moment. I think him coming on late in games if we need him to either be a set piece threat or get us with the energy he's got winning the ball. Because I think, as much as it's not about pretty football, but keeping the ball isn't about being pretty. That is about being effective, having an ability to keep the ball and keep possession. And I don't think having Paulinho in our midfield is the best way for that. I think him being a sub at the moment is the best. So if I'm predicting what we would do, that's what I think we'll do.
I'm not saying predicting, but what do you actually want to see?
Yeah,
do you actually want to see Mawani continue because I don't want to see Moani continue.
I also don't want to see Bergvall on the left.
Yeah, that's fine, but Moani, what does he actually add?
Not much. Look, don't get me wrong. It's the choice between really two or however many bad options. There's no good options here. We are without all our best attackers. So there is no option here which I'm going to sit here and say, yeah, that's what I want to see. But what's necessary? I think in this situation, I think the best course of action, I think, is probably Patel on the left, Morley on the right, and Richarlison up front. That is probably the best course of action, I would say.
I don't know. It just feels like we're playing with 10 men whenever Moani's on the pitch. Like, I can't sit here and say the best course of action is going to play Moani because he adds absolutely nothing. At least if Bergvall was to play, you know he's going to add that fight, that spirit, that endeavour, that ability to press, you know? And I know it's completely a wrong position, but I think we'd be able to win the ball high up the pitch a lot more if Bergvall's starting there in a central kind of off the left or maybe even off the right, whatever it may be, and put Tell on the left, then to put a Moani there because Moani just adds absolutely nothing. At least with Bergvall, yeah, look, he's not ideal, but we're not in an ideal situation right now.
We've played Bergvall in that position. He's offered very little.
And we've played Moani in that position. He's offered even less.
I'm just saying, like, okay, Bergvall, for example, played in the 10 against Sunderland. Did he offer any more than what Moani's
He had an especially bad game against Sunderland, Bergvall. We all know that. You know, that's not what he is. But what Moani is kind of what he's been all season. That's the reality.
I just think we're going to have to rely on him, in my opinion. I think we have to just play him and hope. That's our best course of action rather than shoehorning Bergvall in on that side. I think our best course of action is to hope Moani we can get something out of him. Because if we can, then all of a sudden we have a decent player there. Now we haven't been able to, so the likelihood is we probably won't. But I think given the options here,
but we've tried it for 34 games. We're 34 games into a season. Surely, if he's literally showed nothing in the Premier League for 34 games
every day.
Yeah, great.
Zerbi thinks he can take him out for lunch and gas him up and thinks he can get more out of him. I'd rather give that a go. I really would. And I just think a front three especially against Villa, who we know are going to be playing a high line. Probably going to leave that space in behind. You kind of need a player like Moani in that game. Obviously, you need him doing what we know he can do, but if we can get him in behind, that's one of the avenues we can attack them. But if we put Bergvall there, all of a sudden, it's one of those avenues taken away, I feel.
Yeah, on the ball, that avenue's taken away, but off the ball, he's going to have the ability to actually nick the ball high up the pitch. When Moani doesn't seem to do that. And I think if we're going to score goals with the players that we've got available, I think the only way we're going to score is nicking the ball high up the pitch or set pieces. I don't think we're going to score any other way.
It's not bad. It's not. Yeah, you might be right. You might well be right.
Like, we're not going to get the ball in behind to Moani, and Moani's not going to get there. And if he does get there, he's probably not going to score. So that's just me. Like, I think the only way we're going to score is set piece or nicking the ball high up the pitch, and I think that's the only way we have scored this season, pretty much. Like, how many other goals have we scored this season? Variation. We haven't. So that's why I think just play to those strengths. Play the best pressers in the team and play the players that are most suited to winning the ball in the box and being able to score from set pieces. Play for those set pieces. You know? I think that's the only shot that we've got.
I just think you play players... strikers and forwards lines and forward positions.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, in an ideal world, I would. In an ideal world, I would. But we're not in an ideal world right now. And we're in a tough situation.
I agree.
So...
Look, I think he is going to play Moani.
I agree. I do think he's going to play Moani. But I just don't want to see Moani. I really don't. I think we're playing with 10 men when we do. He's absolutely shocking. But look, if we're judging these next 4 games... West Ham go Brentford away, Arsenal at home, Newcastle away, Leeds at home. How many points are they getting?
Who, West Ham?
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't be surprised if they get a point at Brentford.
Yeah, neither would I. I think that's got a draw written all over it.
Yeah.
Brentford are the draw specialists in the Premier League.
Yeah. I do think Arsenal beat them. Now, St. James's is interesting.
You know what? I just wouldn't put it past those Gooners to lose that game as well. The one time. I'm not even going to say it because I'll never say I want Arsenal to lose. No, yeah, I'll never say I want Arsenal to win. But I wouldn't be mad if Arsenal won that game.
In that game.
I'm telling you, we're going to do a hate-along for that game. I guarantee you I will not be celebrating any Arsenal goals. I guarantee you that. I'll just have a nice little smile on my face.
And then St James's, I mean, the form they're on, although I thought they looked quite good against Arsenal, but
Yeah.
the form they're on, you wouldn't put past West Ham to get something from that game. But I still think right now, I still make Newcastle favourites to get a win over West Ham. And then at the end of the season, it's Leeds. So
Yeah.
if I'm predicting...
I think we need to look at the next 3 instead of the next 4 because last day of the season, we want to hope to be outside the relegation zone before the last day of the season. So maybe let's just look at the next 3.
in the next
Can we get more points than them in the next 3 games?
Yes. I don't see... I'll be shocked if they get more than 3.
Are they going to win any of those games? I think the most likely one is probably
Brentford, yeah.
Newcastle.
I think... Yeah, Newcastle, you could say.
Newcastle, by that time, they'll be completely on the beach as well.
But St James's still has a thing about it.
Does it?
It does.
Does it? They've just lost to Bournemouth there. They've lost to Sunderland there. They've lost 3 games in a row
Yeah,
at
but all
St
those
James's.
games, all those games were very, very close.
They even
It's
drew
still
to
not
Barcelona.
The Barca, that's not a bad result.
They beat Man United, lost to Everton, lost to Brentford, they've lost a hell of a lot of games at St James's Park recently.
Yeah, but have they lost to anyone as bad as West Ham?
What, in terms of low down in the league there? Don't think so. They beat Leeds 4-3.
If you look at who they played in the bottom half, have they lost to anyone in the bottom half of the table at home?
No. I mean, recently they haven't played anyone in the bottom half, but they're losing to literally everyone in the top half. They've lost to Villa, Brentford, Everton, City, Sunderland, Bournemouth.
Good teams.
Yeah.
But when they play the worst teams, they usually win.
Yeah, but like kind of the rot has set in now. You know what I mean? Like these are the games. And obviously West Ham are not playing like a bottom half of the team right now. They're not getting results like a bottom half of the table team right now.
But they still are one.
They are one, yeah, of course. But they're on good form.
Look, who knows what will happen? Look.
I
I predict that West Ham don't win that game.
That's fine. I've got more confidence on Brentford taking points off West Ham than I do of Newcastle.
I'm actually not. I have more fire hope than Newcastle do, in a weird way, than Brentford.
I think they get 2 points in those games.
2 draws.
Yeah, I think they'll draw against Brentford, draw against Newcastle, lose against Arsenal.
That would leave us needing 4 points over the next 3.
Yeah, so when you're looking at Spurs' fixtures, we go away to Villa. Villa sandwiched in between Europe. They looked awful against Fulham, by the way, Villa. But at Villa Park, they do seem to be different. We've just got to hope and pray they rest players, right? Because if they go into that game without Morgan Rogers and without their top players, resting them for the second leg, that'll be big for us. And that will give us a possibility. Because Unai won't change the way he plays, regardless of the personnel that he has on the pitch. And if they play that way with a lesser team, I think that gives us a big opportunity.
It does. I mean, I would say right now Villa's second team they're currently playing can give us a
100%.
game. And they're going to be playing with a bit of freedom as well because they've they know they're safe. And so I think they're going to try and win the game. It's not like they're going to settle for a draw. They're going to come at us at home. It could be a very open game like the Sunderland game was. So I'm not. Put it this way: I'm more hopeful if they're playing a second team, but it's not like it makes us favourites or anything.
Yeah,
maybe a draw.
I think we can win. I genuinely think we can beat Villa.
I don't think we beat Villa.
I think we can. I don't know if we will.
Even a draw sounds a bit deluded, to be honest. If I'm being completely based on even how we played.
Yeah.
Like, even predicting a draw sounds a bit deluded, but I think maybe we can sneak like a 1-1 or something.
Did you see them against Fulham?
Did
you watch the game? I thought they were absolutely shocking. Fulham should have won that much more comfortably than they did.
Yeah, but also beat Sunderland. I know they gave up a lead, but they scored 4 goals.
Yeah.
They were 3-1 up in that game.
They're a good side, but I do think that European game is coming at the right time for us.
No, I agree. It gives us a chance to get a result.
Yeah, if they didn't have that European game, I would say 100% Villa win. They'll be playing their strongest team. But now there is that little bit of doubt.
I think draw at best. I'll be shocked if we win.
We'll say draw. Can we beat Leeds? Like Leeds, like the way they're playing right now. That's the game, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's the game where you're looking at in the next 3 games.
A lot of that's the game.
I know, but this is like, if we're going to be outside of the relegation zone come the last day of the season, we have to beat Leeds.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. So we have to win that game. I think we can win that game. I think we can win it.
We ain't going to Chelsea.
They might have a Champions League, might have an FA Cup final to deal with.
Yeah, but still, that's still quite some way before the FA Cup final, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Isn't it FA Cup final at the end of the season?
No, it's the week before, penultimate.
Is it?
Yeah, it'll be the week after.
So what is it? The same weekend as we play Chelsea?
Yeah, the Chelsea game. If Chelsea get there, the Chelsea game is going to be moved.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, that gives me a bit. So these games are coming at the right time for us then. Hopefully, I mean,
it's one of Leeds or Chelsea in the final, right? So either Leeds are going to rest players, or I don't know if we play Chelsea after or before their final. I think it'll be after.
Let's see what the FA Cup final date is. 16th. Yeah. Okay, so that's the day before we're supposed to play Chelsea. That is 5 days after we play Leeds. We've got Leeds on the Monday night, and they're going to be playing in the FA Cup final on that Saturday.
I think they're saying.
Well, if they get there.
I think they're saying if Chelsea win, that Chelsea game is going to be moved to the Tuesday after the final, I think. Does that make sense?
I tell you what,
Tuesday seems a bit soon.
This is massive then for us this game, 'cause we need Leeds to win desperately.
Leeds to win?
We need Leeds to beat Chelsea today.
So that they rest players for that final.
100%. We need Leeds to win. I think regardless, forget the Chelsea game, because Chelsea aren't going to rest players because our game's going to be moved after the FA Cup final, right?
I don't know if it's after or before.
It'll have to be after.
Can't be before, can it?
It can't be before because we're playing Leeds on a Monday night.
Ah, yeah. Good point.
It's going to have to be after. That means we'll have 2 games in the space of a week, the last week of the season. We'll have Chelsea midweek and we'll have Everton on the last day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it'll mean.
Exactly, yeah.
So we need Leeds to win today. If Leeds win today, there's a high chance that they rest players against us. Mm-hmm. Because it'll be the same week that they've got the FA Cup final. So we need Leeds to win today, man. It's massive.
At the very least, doesn't matter resting them, at the very least, I might have one eye on it.
Yeah.
Players that won't want to get injured for it.
Yeah, exactly. Because Leeds FA Cup final is massive for them. It is humongous. An FA Cup final for Leeds.
Yeah.
Biggest game in their history. Well, recent history.
So if we can win, so if they do win today and we can beat them, that's 4 points. All of a sudden, if we're saying West Ham only get 2 points, that puts us level points with them already before the Chelsea game.
So, like, if Leeds win today, that means in our next 2 games, we're going to be facing teams that have got massive, massive games in the space of a week after we play. I think that's massive.
It's important, but what's also massive is we don't have any.
We got to do the business,
players.
yeah, of course.
That's probably bigger, I would say. Look, the 100% circumstances are falling in our favour, but we still need to win. We need to actually beat these teams, on over 90 minutes, regardless of whether they got one eye on this or one eye on that, or resting players here. That we actually have to go on the pitch and be better than them and win.
Yeah.
And are we going to do that?
And on the flip side, if Chelsea get to the FA Cup final and let's say they win or whatever, they lose the FA Cup final, they know they've probably got nothing to play for these last 2 games. Are they going to take their foot off the gas? Well, probably not, because they're playing against Tottenham and they want to relegate Tottenham. They'll probably turn into prime Hazard ball Chelsea, you know what I mean? Regardless. So I've got much more faith in Leeds than Chelsea. So let's get Leeds the win today.
But if Chelsea do win, that means that game gets moved to a Tuesday after the final. If they do win, we've seen it before with Chelsea where they've... no, actually it was the opposite. They won the league and then they were partying for a whole week and they lost the FA Cup final, I remember. But we've seen it with other teams. It happens so often where a team has a big day in the FA Cup or whatever, and then the following week they celebrate. It happened with us, Europa League. We won Europa League, then too busy celebrating, we were obviously battered. Well, we might have got battered anyway, but I think if Chelsea win, is there gonna be a hangover?
Very well could be. Very well could be.
Because it's a short turnaround, Saturday to Tuesday. You know, spend the whole weekend celebrating, and then maybe we can have a little sting in the tail.
Yeah. So, I mean, implications could happen either way, whoever wins today. But let's get Leeds to win anyway, because I think that Leeds game is just humongous for us, man. It really is.
And in terms of Forest, look, it's 5 points, still only 2 games.
So Forest, they play, obviously, Villa in the Cup, Chelsea away.
So we play Villa before on the Sunday, and they play Chelsea away on the Monday.
Yeah.
So we do have a chance to put a little bit of pressure on them with a win.
Yeah, because if we win, then it's 2
points.
points, but we are playing Villa away.
It's Villa away. Even a draw, I mean, 4 points, still there. But Chelsea away, I mean, the way Chelsea are playing, you wouldn't exactly predict.
Yeah, you just never know
Chelsea
what it's going to
nothing.
be like with the change of manager, though, do you?
Yeah.
I know it's not, it's just interim, but
But if they can lose that game,
I think
not
it's very
completely out of it.
significant, though. Like, it's 3 days from Chelsea away to their second leg. It's literally just 3 days.
Yeah.
So if that game is tight going into the second leg, surely they've got no option but to rest players in that game.
they won't. They can't afford to. I don't think. I don't think they can afford to rest anyone when it's still possible and get relegated. They're still not. We won. I think if we had not won yesterday, I think maybe they can start thinking like that. But we won, so now we have that monkey off our back. I guess it depends what we do at Villa. If we do get a win at Villa, there's zero chance they rest any players if we win at Villa.
Probably right.
They're definitely going full strength.
But then their last 3 games is Newcastle at home, Man United away, and Bournemouth at home. I think the Newcastle game, I think they can win or draw at least. Man United away, I actually think they can go and do something at United. I think United will probably have Champions League confirmed by then, and they'll be completely on the beach. I think that game will mean a lot more to Nottingham Forest, so I don't doubt that they can get at least a
Depends if they're in
point.
the final or not.
Yeah. And then Bournemouth at home, last game of the season. I think Bournemouth will still be fighting by then to get a potential European spot. So there's something there. But I'm looking at those fixtures, and I think they'll get enough points to stay up.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Like, there's 4 tough games.
Yeah.
Like, when you look at it objectively, 4 probably games tougher than ours. But obviously they've just gone and won 5-0. So, and they're unbeaten in 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
So you look at them thinking maybe they can get results in those games. But it's an interesting one. I think they'll get enough. Obviously, they probably, if you look at it, they probably just need 1 win, don't they? 1 win would be enough. They're on 39.
So what we're saying for West Ham, 3 points in the next 3 games. No, 2 points in the next 3 games, which will put them on what?
38?
38. We're saying for Spurs, we're going to get
4 points.
4 points, and even that is like so that's 38. We're saying Nottingham Forest are going to get in the next 3 games, Chelsea away, Newcastle at home, Man United away. I think they get
3, I'd say 3.
I would say 4 even. I think they can get 4 points.
But even if, let's just say it's 3.
Okay, say it's 3. That'll put them on 42.
And then so that leaves us 4 points clear. Them 4 points clear with 2 games to go.
Which means they're safe. No, 1 game
No.
to go.
1 game to go.
Yeah, they're safe. Leeds, they've got Burnley at home, which is probably 3 points, and then they're safe because they'll be on 43.
So the only way we could realistically drag those teams into it.
If Burnley beat Leeds.
No, if we win through all 3 games.
Oh yeah, if we win, yeah.
That's the only real way. Because
Yeah.
if we win all 3, which is obviously really unlikely, what will that put us on? That will put us on. That's another 5 points, isn't it? So that'll put
If
us
we
on
win
43.
3 out of our next 3 games.
Let's just say we do. Will that put us on 43?
Yeah.
And that'll actually put us ahead of them if we're in that prediction.
Yeah, it's not happening.
No, it's not happening. Well, let's say we win 2 out of the next 3.
I'll put us on 40.
40. Okay, then that means they're in it, the other teams, if they only get 3 points, which is not that unrealistic.
Yeah, but I think 4 points.
4
points is what we're going to get.
I think 4 points, to be honest, looking at it, I'll take 4 points right now. Like, in terms of there's a good chance we
4
don't get 4
points,
points.
yeah. But the problem is, if West Ham do win one of their next 3 games, 4 points
Yeah.
ain't enough.
No.
That's the problem.
We need West Ham to go winless in the next 3.
Us having 4 points with our projections, we've got West Ham to draw 2 games and lose 1 game, and that puts us level pegging going into the last day of the season. And us basically being on top by goal difference going in, and they've got Leeds at home, and we've got Everton at home. Which even then is not like, you know what I mean? They've got the easier game.
We have to thread the eye of the needle here to
Yeah.
be safe. If we can somehow get these wins over these next 3 games,
If we
It's
can beat
incredible.
Aston Villa next weekend, that would just be humongous, man. That would be humongous. It's not beyond all realms of possibility, but it's going to be a very tall order.
We're going to need luck. We're going to need luck. We're going to need refereeing decisions to go away. We need to rely on set pieces, and we just need to defend resolutely. That seems to be the only way we can get out of this, because we just don't have the forward players right now, and who knows who's going to be next. It's mad. De Zerbi, since he's come in, he's lost Kudus, Romero,
Yeah,
Udogie,
yeah.
Xavi,
Yeah.
and now and Solanke.
All his influential players, every single one.
He's
Apart
been
from
here
Van
2
der Ven.
weeks.
I know.
That was his 3rd game, right?
Yeah.
That was his 3rd game.
He's been here a month, yeah.
He's lost more injuries than he's had games.
It's mad.
It's
just mad. You
crazy.
just can't write it, man. You can't write it. It's just...
He came in an injury crisis and he's had 5 injuries since
Yeah.
he's been here. So what are you going to do with that?
I know. If Xavi has done his ACL, that would have mean, what, 6 ACLs in the last year or 2?
Well, in terms of like serious knee injuries, you got Kulusevski, Madison, Dragoshin, not Bentancur. Who was it? Odebear.
Yeah.
Now Xavi. That's 5
In the last year.
last year.
Like, what is going on at this football club?
And then
How are we
then-
just like popping ACLs like...
And then you've had Kudus and Romero have had 2 very serious groin injuries. I've kept them out for 3 to 6 months. You've had Van der Ven, who's had a series of hamstring injuries. Doggie's series of hamstring injuries. It's crazy. The whole thing is nuts.
I've never seen anything like it. I really haven't. But look, we've mapped out for you that relegation, and it ain't looking good.
No.
It's really not looking good.
It seems as though if we really just need to win games, like there's no way of like sugarcoating it. If we
Yeah.
don't win these games, it's just looking really unlikely.
Yeah.
Because we've predicted West Ham to get 2 out of 3, and even that might not happen
I know.
if they get 4 points.
If West Ham go and beat Brentford next week,
Yeah.
then the writing's on the wall.
They're playing before us.
Yeah, they play 3 o'clock on the Saturday. We play 7 o'clock on the Sunday. So it's actually like mad, because if they go and draw that game, then we can win to go out the
Yeah,
relegation
we
zone.
know what we need to do. But if they win that, all the pressure's on us.
Yeah.
So much pressure.
Well, to be honest, the pressure's on us regardless of the result,
Yeah.
because if they draw or lose,
We need to win.
massive pressure on us to win the game. Massive pressure. So no matter the result, the pressure cooker is going to be building and building and building. I think the pressure, is there more pressure? There's more pressure on them if they win, though, because we know we just need to win to keep pace.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a worse situation to be in. To know I've always said, like, I remember writing this, and I think reading this, sorry, and I think this is very relevant to the relegation battle. When you look at penalty shootouts, you look at when that 5th penalty is taken, they did a study on how likely a player is to miss or to score. They found when a player is taking a penalty to win the game, they score, I think it was 85% of the time. But when they're taking a penalty to stay in the game, if for example, if they miss their out, they actually only score about 50% of the time. They score a lot less, because the pressure to like avoid losing is a lot more than the pressure to win the thing.
Yeah.
Like when you have excitement. I think that's same with a football team. When you take it into relegation battle, the pressure to just stay in the race is a lot more, and it weighs a lot heavier than the pressure to actually win, to actually be out the relegation zone. You'd much rather be in that situation, because you're actually fighting for something that you need to achieve. If you win that, you're out the relegation zone. Like, that is something that you can actively, physically see. Whereas if you're just winning to keep pace, it's more like, God, if we don't win this, we're down.
You know what? If West Ham draw against Brentford and we somehow beat Villa, then you can actually see massive end in sight, because the next game is us against Leeds at home and them against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden we could actually put a bit of light between us. But we have to go and beat Villa. So I don't know. There's a lot, as someone said, a lot of ifs and buts
It's
here.
a hell of a lot of ifs.
We got to see it all play out, and we got to just hope and pray for the best. But
put it this way, if you're looking objectively, yesterday hasn't actually got us in a better position to stay up. It's actually probably, you would even say, after yesterday, we're more likely to go down than we were before yesterday.
I said after the game, I literally said it on the instant match reaction in a weird way. I feel more convinced we're going down after the game than I did before the game.
I mean, objectively, that's true. I think. In fact, they did. I think one of the percentage thingies had us up to 65% from 58% after yesterday, due to, I think, the injuries. And also, you can't forget, as much as we got a big win, West Ham won in the last minute. The belief that's going to fuel
100%.
them, you know, they're going to have so much belief now that they're going to stay up after that win. It's a bigger win for, well, I wouldn't say it's a bigger win for them than us, because I think getting your first win is massive. Your first win in so long, but it is still a big win and still a massive.
I think in a way it could be a better win, because at some point they were back in the relegation zone and then they clawed their way back out in a massive morale boosting win. It's a massive win for them.
Yeah,
massive.
I'm saying, but I think they already had belief, is my point, that they were staying up.
Yeah, but
So
it just even fuels that belief.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying we had I don't know how much belief we had, and now we have a win, and I was like, okay, we're alive, we're still there, we're still here. So I think the win is bigger for us than for them, but it's still a big win, and they're on a roll, and we've lost 2 big injuries. So I think if I'm a West Ham fan, I'm definitely feeling more confident after yesterday.
Yeah. Well, like I said yesterday, people, just keep praying, keep believing, and let's hope. Just literally just pray to any God that you can, any God that you believe in. We need some divine intervention, people, in these last 4 games, and hopefully we can beat this thing.